It was really useful having an SLR camera to take my photos of my models, as they were really good quality and not pixelated. They were really defined, which made them look more realistic and helped make it look like a real professional magazine. It was really easy to save the photos from the camera to the computer and to do so in a suitable format. It was a quick way to take professional looking photos, as they didn't need to be edited that much either. I found Photoshop the best image manipulator because it was so simple to use. Once I got past the basics, I found it really easy. It's good because you can make any image look more professional. If I wanted to make my photos look more professional, I would have to edit them to make them more clear, colour enhanced and bigger contrast between the highlights and the shadows. I did this by changing the levels on Photoshop, darker, lighter and contrast. I had to ensure I was on the correct layer for the photo, or else I would have edited the wrong section. After looking at real magazines, I found they often edited their photos, so I needed to do this for my magazine. Using Photoshop for my front cover was most useful in this process because it enabled me to easily add text, change font and change colour for both the masthead and the cover lines. In the competition on my front cover, I wanted the words iPod Touch 5 and 1 to stand out. Because my entire font was bold and making it underlined looked unrealistic to a magazine, I decided to change the colour to red because it connotes a... To do this, I made sure the primary colour on the page was white, the colour for the rest of the text, and the secondary colour was red. I then had to select all the text and make sure it was white. I then highlighted the words iPod Touch 5 and 1 and switched the colour to red. It was really simple, but it made it look a lot more professional and more like a real magazine. It added a quirky design feature. I used InDesign to create my double page spread. I found it was a suitable program to make this because it was an easily accessible desktop publishing software. I wanted to make it as professional as I could, which meant looking at the key conventions of real magazines and use similar ideas. I wanted to use a drop cap for part of my double page spread because I thought it would look sophisticated and make it look more professional. To do so, I created some text and got it an appropriate font and appropriate size. I then added a separate text box to the page and added the first letter of the writing, a H, made it capital, 3 times the size and a different font. I then dragged the H inside the other text box and lined it up with the top left corner. I then selected Text Wrap on the drop down, clicked on Wrap around the bounding box so the text would wrap around the H. To make this look more professional and fit properly, I made the space at the bottom -3. It made the whole double page look more like a real magazine because it's one of the key conventions. I've tried to vary the different medias I have used in my blog, especially in the evaluation. I have used a board, a collection of slides, a video and a movie just like this one. I have done this by typing in my answer to the question and recording me speaking it onto my computer. I then imported the sound into Windows Movie Maker and added a selection of images suitable to what I'm saying. It's been really easy to upload them and store them onto blogger.com where I keep all my blogs.